Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Nisse Sauerland here in the aftermath of a fabulous victory for Harlem Eubank. Tremendous victory, as I say. You must be so pleased and delighted for him to get the win tonight.
100%. I was nervous coming to this fight. To speak honestly, he knows his performance in Newcastle wasn't great. He was out of the ring for a while, got the rust off, and now tonight he stole the show. He stole the show, and that's what he's meant to do. He's the main event, and he's made a statement. Not many guys can stop Tyrone McKenna. He's a tough customer. Couldn't be prouder. Couldn't be happier.
Even more satisfying in the way that he did it with the 3 knockdowns, completely dominant throughout, and stopped somebody, as you say, who's been in there with the best throughout his career.
Yeah, listen, 4 knockdowns in my opinion, but I've got to watch it back. But I'm pretty sure that was a body shot, and that took the win right out of him. And then he finished it. Listen, it was a conclusive performance against a very, very, tough operator in Tyrone McKenna.
What now is the next question that we turn to? He's sort of ticked off a little bit of a gut check in Tyrone McKenna. He's come through that with flying colours. Where does the attentions turn now?
Listen, he's put his name out there now. Like I said before in the interview, he's a big name now. Like he's people aren't going to just try and get him into to as a stepping stone or anything. Harlem's a real contender. With that belt tonight, he's going to get a very good ranking. It's also up to Harlem what he wants to do. We're going to sit down, evaluate, but there's a lot of good names out there.
How important was it that he did it in such good fashion? We know the performance before up in Newcastle wasn't his best, but to get down here in front of a home crowd and do it like that.
I've got to say, I was a bit worried about the first round. Was very cagey. No one really threw a lot of shots. I was like, oh shit, this needs to liven up a little bit. And then it did, and caught him one of the most beautiful uppercuts. I don't know how he got up so quickly after that, but Tyrone McKenna's a tough man.
The Adam Azim fight was something that was mentioned, I think it's over a year ago now. Is that completely off the table now with the weights, or?
Hey, listen, there's always deals to be done. I think that Harlem, he's coming in as the A side now, if not an equal side, and that's how we have to be seen and how we have to be treated. We'd love to do that fight, but has to be at the right weight for Harlem as well.
We know his dreams will obviously be to get that world title under his belt. 31 years of age, you have to feel like he's now in the prime of his career. The next 2 years are hugely important for him. Do you think we could see him in a world title fight in the next 2 years?
Listen, I think a world title is within reach. I think that, the European title as well, it's always a nice title to fight for. I like to do it the traditional route, but there's a lot of big fights out there. I think tonight we're going to enjoy. We have a good night out tonight with Harlem celebrating, and then Monday back to work.
What are the Nisse Harlem celebrations going to look like? Can you give us a sneak peek?
Peppermint tea. Harlem's going to go for the chamomile, and then go to bed.
I just want to run down the undercard very quickly. Dan Toward suffering his first defeat as a professional. I'm sure a very tough defeat to take. What did you make of that?
Listen, I think I said to you yesterday I should retire if he doesn't become world champion. So I'm going to have to get him back, and I'm going to have to get him to have a rematch against a very tough contender. Yeah?
Is that the next logical step, the rematch?
Let's see. Let's see where his head's at. I think for his 6th fight, might have been a step too far, but listen, you live and learn. I think he was bossing the fight up until then. He was showing a lot of class. I think he got greedy. He just stood in front of him, having lots of luck, and just got caught with a beautiful right hand. That happens. Listen, just because he's lost doesn't mean he doesn't have a future in boxing.
Michael Conlan announced in the ring that he'll be fighting for the EBU title next. Obviously a good step on the ladder for him to get back to those world title aspirations.
Yeah, I said earlier, I've never seen a live exorcism on TV before, because he got rid of all his demons in those 8 rounds. You could see them, he didn't start that well, but towards the end he got his rhythm back and he looked like the old Michael Conlan. Obviously Llorente's a tough customer, yeah? He's not bad, and he's going to have his A game for that European title. Got to wait on the date, because Mick's eye was up like that from a headbutt. So we just got to see.
Eddie Hearn has mentioned a possible fight between Mick and Josh Warrington. How interested would you be for that down the line, possibly in the summer?
Yeah, potentially late summer, potentially late summer, but listen, we need to see where Mick's head is at. I know he wants a Lee Wood fight as well.
Final thing, obviously Chris Eubank Senior in the crowd tonight. I'm sure, did you manage to have a conversation with him about what you've seen from Harlem over the last year or so?
Yeah, listen, you know, me and Senior are great. I think Junior was here for a bit as well, which was nice. I didn't see him, but you know, we get along with the family. Boxing's a rough ride, you know. Boxing's a rough ride. Sometimes you got to take the ups and downs, you know. That's the way it is.
Yes, I really appreciate your time this week and hope to see you soon.
Cheers, mate.